Hey everyone, Paw here with another Tech Talk. Today we'll look at how DHCP Option 43 can help to adopt Unifi equipment. When working with Unifi devices, they need to connect to a Unifi network controller to fully function. You can see this controller as the brain of your network. If everything is on the same subnet, your devices can find the controller through basic Layer 2 discovery via broadcast. However, there are situations where a broadcast in the subnet is not working to discover a device reliable. Here, the DHCP Option 43 comes handy. And implementing this option from the start makes sense, even if you don't think you need it yet. Consider this scenario. As your network grows or you need to segment it for security, some of your devices end up on different subnets. Without Option 43, you'll face the task of manually reconfiguring each device. Not ideal when managing dozens of access points. Speaking of adoption methods, SSH is the most direct approach. You can connect to any Unifi device using default credentials, user and password, UBNT, and point it to your controller using the setinform command. No need to write down, I put everything talked about here in the blog post. Now imagine doing SSH and manual setinform for dozen devices. That's why automated methods like DHCP Option 43 or DNS resolution are preferred in professional environments. Setting up Option 43 on your DHCP server creates a signpost that tells every new Unifi device where to find its controller. Your DHCP server will automatically provide the IP of your controller during IP assignment. By this option, your controller could be in a totally different VLAN or even remote, cloud-based. For those networks across different sites or VLANs, Layer 3 adoption becomes crucial. This is where Option 43 helps the booting device to automatically knock on the right controller's door. Of course, there are things which can go wrong even with Option 43 set. When troubleshooting, connectivity is key. First, check if the devices can reach the controller. Is port 8080 open? Having DHCP Option 43 in place eliminates one potential failure point, making troubleshooting more straightforward. But it need to be set up in a certain way to function without hassle. Different DHCP servers handle Option 43 configuration differently across platforms. To simplify this, we've created a handy tool on our blog. It generates the correct hex values for your Unifi controller's IP, formatted properly for various systems like pfsense, OpenSense, or MikroTik. Why is this helpful? When configuring Option 43, you might need to convert your controller's IP to hex, but you also have to add a 0104 prefix. This tells the DHCP server it's sub-option 1 with a 4-byte length. Do not worry, sounds more complicated as it is. Let's look at an example for pfsense, a popular firewall. To set up Option 43, you'd create a custom DHCP option with the number 43, type string, and paste in the hex value, 01:04 followed by the controller's IP and hex. Head to our blog for the conversion tool and detailed guides for many platforms. Trust me, it beats doing hex math in your head. Another solution for Unifi adoption is using DNS. It's not as reliable as Option 43, but particularly useful if you can't change your DHCP server. The concept is straightforward. Unifi devices are programmed to look for a host name called Unifi when they're trying to find their controller. By setting up a DNS record that points Unifi to your controller's IP address, you create an automatic path for devices to find their way home. Here's what makes DNS adoption interesting. Once you've set it up, you can move your controller to a different IP address and only need to update the DNS record. All your devices will follow along automatically after their next DNS lookup. While DNS adoption is elegant, I often recommend using it alongside DHCP Option 43 as a fallback method. This gives you two reliable paths for device adoption, making your setup more resilient. Each adoption method we've discussed today, DHCP Option 43, DNS, and SSH, has its place. The key is choosing what works best for your specific environment while keeping future growth in mind. You can find the mentioned blog article right at tcpip.wtf. That's it for today. And remember, a well-planned network leads to a happy network. I'll catch you next time.